From the outer rim to the end zone, one draft Jedi rules the board.
I step in the war room, draft picks all in line, Lord Skunk on the throne, strategy by design, super flex, crew on deck, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, PPR, power blast, scoring up like believers, stadium lights blazing from desert sands to city nights, opponents back down quick when we strike with might, feel the saber flash, every touchdown's tight, draft Jedi in control, conquer every fight, we are the draft Jedi, running leagues block to block, winning waiver battles, making rivals stop, no kickers, no defense, pure offense on lock. Join Lord Skunk's Dynasty, let your star please rock. Draft Jedi, running leagues block to block, winning waiver battles, making rivals stop. No kickers, no defense, pure offense on lock. Join Lord Skunk's Dynasty, let your star players rock. Rookie recruits train, Hunter and Ted hold the line. Veterans like Mahomes, laser throws every time. Every pick's a mission, finding sleepers in the dark. Trade signals light, building power, leaving a mark. Rebel huddle forms, playoff destiny in view. Under Jedi Master Skunk, your legend breaks through. Frame icy waiver fights to that final game time drive. Draft Jedi's wisdom keeps your roster alive. Locking each highlight, watch your rivals fall. We own this fantasy galaxy, together we stand tall. We are the Draft Jedi, running leagues block to block, winning waiver battles, making rivals stop. No kickers, no defense, pure offense on lock. Join Lord Skunk's Dynasty, let your star players rock. The Draft Jedi, running leagues block to block, winning waiver battles, making rivals stop. No kickers, no defense, pure offense on lock. Join Lord Skunk's Dynasty, let your star players rock.
Claim your spot. Join the force. Head to lordskunk.com and dominate.
We build a dynasty, not just a team. No guts, no glory. Live your fantasy dreams. No guts, no glory. Dynasty domain. Crew is too skunk to make. We own this game. Kramer, Howard, Dr. Swank, rosters on fire. Flying V, Eddie Bantam, take your empires higher. Joe Mama, Chino, C, Green, champions uniting. No guts, no glory, territory. We reign supreme tonight. Draft nights live, snake pick heat. Rookies rising, every selection's elite. Flexing QBs up front, wide receivers cash, big checks. Bench studs, prime debt, diamonds with spec. Trade block blazing, flip picks for the crown. Every move precise, no chance we back down. Waiver wire Wednesday, scoop sleepers unseen. Hold strong, watch this talent machine. Dynasty blueprints lock, legends in the making. Season after season, no faking or mistaking. No kickers, no defense, pure offense, pure thrill. And no guts, no glory, only winners fit the bill. No guts, no glory, dynasty domain. Crew is too skunk to make, we own this game. Kramer, Howard, Dr. Swink, rosters on fire. Flying V, Eddie Bantam, take your empires higher. Joe Mama, Chino, C, Green, champions unite. And no guts, no glory, territory, we reign supreme tonight. Keepers locked down, future Hall of Famers rise. PPR finesse, milestone bonuses, surprise. TD dance parties when our studs hit the zone. League safe, secure, watch those prize checks roll home. Discord buzzing, strategy on demand. No guts, no glory, we always stand. Doubters talk noise, they don't know our hustle. Stacking young studs, turning potential into muscle. From rookie breath, fresh to vet, season prime. Our legacy's written one draft pick at a time. No guts, no glory, dynasty domain. Crew is too skunk to make, we own this game. Kramer, Howard, Dr. Swank, rosters on fire. Flying V, Eddie Bantam, take your empires higher. Joe Mama, Chino, C, Green, champions united. No guts, no glory, territory, we reign supreme tonight.
Yo, Lord Skunk, respect the crown. Signing off to build that legacy.
And we're live. Oh yes, it's me, the one and only Skunky D. Sorry if I'm not feeling the absolute best, but I could not pass up this opportunity. It was 7 days straight of drafting for our startup Dynasty League. 24 rounds, slow draft. It was straight bananas. I could not have had a better time. I really didn't know what to expect going into it. I've never done anything like that before. I've never done Dynasty, but I've been doing my homework. I've been doing my research. Remember, I've been doing fantasy football for over 20 years. I'm pretty good at it. Okay, I think I've proven that. And now we get a chance to kind of look at that and see how did I step up with the big boys. So just to recap, just so you remember, created from the ground up a 12-team, 24-round super flex tight end premium startup draft for our Dynasty League for fantasy football. Okay. I interviewed 20 to 25 managers by video call. I wanted to make sure we brought in the best, the most dedicated, the dream team, the absolute squad of squads when it comes to fantasy experienced managers. Now, some managers were not as experienced with Dynasty. Some managers were very experienced with Dynasty, but everybody was very experienced in fantasy football at a high level. So here we are. We brought everybody together. Everybody did a manager meeting welcome call that we did shortly after we finalized the rosters. Then we did a live drawing reveal, draft reveal order. So it was pretty exciting. We got everybody together. We got to kind of learn about each other all in a group call on Discord. And we launched this thing. So here we are. We completed the draft. It was an absolute blast. It was a journey. Was not what I was expecting, and it exceeded my expectations on so many levels. So if you've been like me, you've been doing fantasy for a long time, you kind of been dabbling about it, and doing a Dynasty startup draft, it's the way to go. If you maybe done it and maybe joined some leagues that, aren't that active or maybe aren't that good, maybe it's time to try to find or build your own Dynasty league. And if you follow along, I'll help you with that. I'll help you build a really cool Dynasty league because I think we built one. So we're going to get into that in just a minute, but just to kind of recap. So the strategy really early here, it seemed like for our league was early round quarterback runs, which makes sense. I think that was my strategy. But there was a lot of quarterbacks that went early, which they should. This is a super flex tight end premium. So you are going to be able to start two quarterbacks. There are 12 teams. So that's 24 quarterbacks that will be starting typically on a weekly basis. So they hold a high premium. And then I tried to craft the most balanced quarterback, wide receiver, tight end build. That was my favorite build. That was what I was planning on doing. That's what I was able and even I'm very proud to say I was very disciplined in my strategy. I was able to hold firm even when I was like, oh, maybe I want to make this pick, or oh, maybe I want to make that pick, or maybe make this move. I stayed strong. I really wanted to commit myself to my strategy, and we'll see ultimately how it panned out. So let me share with you real quick. First off, hi, everybody in chat. If you're in chat, if you can say what's up, we'll come back to this here in a few minutes. I appreciate everybody that jumped in. Let's move over to here's the draft board. And I'm just going to kind of go through some of the details with you. So rounds 1 through 3 were some superstar foundations. 101, Jamar Chase, wide receiver 1 for Cruz. Did not see that one coming. Did not think that was going to be the direction that was going to go. But hey, that's the way that it went, and that was great for me because pick 102 fell, and it was Josh Allen. I was able to pick Josh Allen up, so I was able to lock in that super flex edge with the QB1. Jahmyr Gibbs coming in at the third pick of the first round was very surprising for Mick. That bucked kind of the quarterback trend, and he landed a true workhorse running back. We're going to talk a little bit more about that because there's some updates and developments that have happened since then. And then it came all the way around to pick 211. Was Nico Collins. Pick 212 was Lab McConkey. Those were two really good value wide receiver picks that after analyzing this, both can crack 100,000 or 100,000. That'd be great. 1,000-yard ceilings for both of those players. So McConkey and Collins, I think were pretty good values. I got Collins. And then I believe it was Cruz got McConkey. Let me see on here. I can't remember on here who got McConkey. Let me pull it up. And we'll see. Or it was. Yes, Cruz got McConkey. Yes. So it went Nico Collins and then McConkey. I can't really see over here because unfortunately, let me see if we can make it like this. Maybe we'll make it like this for a minute. So there you go. So you got right there. Yeah, Nico Collins and McConkey went back to back. Bam. So at the very end of the second round, we were able to lock in two pretty elite wide receivers. So pretty good, pretty good there. Value I thought for those two. Brees Hall going at 310. I think was a good value. I think it was a great value for Brees Hall if he can, do something there now in hopefully a revitalized New Jersey or New York Jets team. We'll see. We'll see. Less Aaron Rodgers, right? Now we're adding Justin Fields, so we'll see if that opens up a little bit for Brees. And then AJ Brown. AJ Brown was able to pick up in 311. I think that's a huge upside. So Hall's upside, Brown's elite floor. I think those are two really good running back, wide receiver philosophies. So those were great value picks there as well. And then if we look at rounds 4 through 7, we kind of get into that running back, the quarterback really started to go off the board. I went crazy. Jordan Love went, Dak Prescott, Trevor Lawrence, Drake May, Daniels, Jackson Hurts, all those really went in that 4 to 7 rounds. Pretty amazing to see that. First off, that some of them made it that far, but then that you were still able to get some strong value in that 4 to 7 rounds. Some of the tight end premium updates. So Laporta went 4-4, Kincaid went 8-5, Pitts went 9-8. So that's some really good value in this format. This is tight end premium. So those are some good pickups there. Kincaid, I was targeting him. I don't know. It's kind of a flip right there. I don't know if he's going to be great or not. But I did have Josh Allen, so if I could have picked him up at a value, I would have got him. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do so. But I'm pretty happy with the tight ends I ended up going with. A couple of steals. One was mine. Mine was at the 9-11. I think was a steal for Isaiah Pacheco. He has looked great. If you followed any of the stuff that's going on over there at KC, everybody's touting on how healthy he looks. He's put on some weight. He's looking great. So I was able to pick him up at 9-11. Just so you can kind of see on the board here. I was a little nervous here. I was following my best player on the board strategy and really was weighing heavily on wide receivers. So if you can see here, DJ Moore. Here it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 down from me here for Lord Skunk there on the far left hand of your screen. DJ Moore was that round. I was like, man, I really need to get a running back. Even some of the chat and some of the people in the league thought I was going to go running back here. I ended up sticking to my guns. I went with DJ Moore. I think it's going to pay off in the end. So who did I lose? So my top 3 that I was looking for was going to be Mixon, Connor, or Pacheco. So those are my top 3. And if I was going to put them in order, I would have went Pacheco was my top pick. Mixon and Connor, I said could probably go 2 or 3 either way. And then as a kind of like a 4 or 5 would have been Swift and Montgomery. So if you follow along here, you can kind of see, I ended up sticking my guns. I went with Moore. It worked out because yes, Mixon went off the board. Yes, Connor went off the board. Yes, Swift went off the board. And yes, Montgomery went off the board. But my number 1 player that I was looking to get in running back right there, Isaac Pacheco, was still on the board. I was able to pick him up. I think it's going to be a great value. I'm really happy that I got him. I think as I mentioned in the previous streams, a lot of the players on my team, if they're healthy, I think they're completely dominant forces. That's stacked all the way from top to bottom on every single position. As long as they're healthy, as long as they can do what their potential is, as long as they can hit their ceiling, no doubt about it, hands down. My personal opinion, and we're going to get some opinions of some other formats here in a minute, I think the most dominant draft there. Now, I'm sure the other managers are obviously going to say the same thing about their teams as well, right? It's a bias there, but I do have some opportunity to look at some other formats, I guess, to get their opinion as well. So just looking at that, I think it was a very, very competitive, very fun round. It felt like the first couple rounds took days, it seemed like. And as we kind of got through it, it really started to pick up. So kind of that rounds 8 to 12, there was some upside in flyer rookie stash, some that kind of stand out to me. I was able to pick up Xavier Worthy at 602. I would have loved to have got Rashee Rice. Obviously, he went a little earlier. I wasn't able to pick him up, but I was able to lock in Xavier at 6.02 pick, which I think is good. It's a good value. I think, he's obviously a deep threat. He can get down the field. He's going to be a flex play for me, maybe a wide receiver 3. So he's going to pair well in with the team I already have. So that worked out well. And then you had to pick up Michael Pittman at 11-11. I mean, I think that's a huge value. Again, going back to that, if the players on my team can stay healthy, a la here Pittman, dude, there's some dynamite. There's some dynamite there ready to go. There's a lot of dynasty upside as well. Obviously, Xavier Worthy is young. Pittman's on the younger end as well. I was able to pick up Mason Taylor, which I thought was a huge. I did not think that he would be able to make it in 13-11. Mason Taylor, son of Jason Taylor, the legendary Hall of Famer tight end from Miami. Are you kidding me? I was able to pick him up, so that was great. I'm going to flip over here to my team as well, real quick, so we can see specifically my team. So let me see if I can grab that up here. I believe I have that right here. So let's go here, and I can click in on my team. Maybe. Oh, no. Here we go. Sorry. So there's my team. Okay. So let's move back over here to and take a look at this, see what we got. Now we ended up getting, I didn't get him, but I thought this was a great value. This is one of my notes here that I got on the board. Mason Taylor went at 13-11. Huge value there. I think Mason Taylor is probably, I already talked about Mason Taylor. Sorry. Tommy Johnson went at 18-02. Another tight end premium stash strategy that was really good. He was able to be swiped up there. Tank Bigsby, I got at 14-02. And then Audric Estime, I got at 22-02. So to serve as late round, kind of those running back lottery tickets, their pickups. We know that Tank could do well. He did pretty well last year, so we'll see what he can do this year. He had to kind of pair in there with Pacheco. I would say the weakest I'm at, which we'll see here in a minute, we look at rankings, will be at running back. But there's definitely an opportunity to absolutely dominate following the strategy of really sticking to best on your board. And I'm going to show you the strategy step by step how I went about doing this. So we're going to look at a couple of winners and losers, I think, in the overall draft. So coming in at number 3, I think the third kind of the best kind of overall team. And here's my thoughts on why that is. I think everybody did great. Everybody has their own strategy, everybody has their own style. And again, remember, it depends on how you're ranking this. Are you ranking this as a win now? Are you ranking this as a long-term play, a builder, a dynasty contender for many years? There's a lot of different ways. So dynasty is not redraft, right? You can't just simply look and say, hey, who's got the biggest projections to win, this season? Who's got the biggest projections to win this season? We can look at that, but then we can also look at, hey, who's got the biggest projections, or potential, overall over many years. So right now we're just talking about the draft. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Eddie Ha comes in third. I think he had a really interesting team that he built. He's the only team to draft 2 MVP quarterbacks in Burrow and Mahomes. Plus he has a very deep and young wide receiver core. That was a great pickup by him. I thought he did a really good draft strategy there in the way that he did. I don't know if that was his plan or if it just felt to him that way, but it was really good. So hats off to him. Coming in at number 2 was Cruz, wide receiver juggernaut. Obviously taking Chase first overall was huge for him. McConkey, Higgins, he's got some high upside running back mixes, Jacobs, Cook, and Pollard. Plus he has Kelsey there as well as a tight end. So, hey, Kelsey could cook this year. I don't know. He didn't look the best last year, but again, their strategy in KC was different. They were just almost being so conservative just to win that I think they thought it was going to work for them, but they didn't win the Super Bowl. So I think this year they got to mix it up. They got to turn into that high power, high flying offense. They got to get back to that. So can Kelsey do it? We'll have to wait and see. But I thought he did a great job. And then the number 1 overall. Now I used a lot of consensus to be able to do this. Again, you're going to say, oh, you're biased. Oh, you're this. Oh, you're that. Whatever. The number 1 overall, I feel, was me. Built number 1 overall. Here's why. Built for a super flex tight end premium roster. We got elite quarterbacks. So we got obviously we started off with Josh Allen. That fell to me. Great. Thank you so much for that, Cruz. Appreciate that. Then I was able to pick up Trevor Lawrence, another target of mine. There was a lot of quarterbacks that went off the board that I was not interested in. I really wanted to target Trevor Lawrence. We saw what Cohn did with Baker Mayfield over in Tampa. He's going to have Lawrence. He's going to have Travis Hunter. He's going to have Brian Thomas Jr. He's going to have a lot of opportunity there. And he's got a lot to prove, right, over in Jacksonville. So I really wanted to target Lawrence. I think he's going to have a breakout year. We know he's good. He just hasn't really been able to break out. Maybe his coaching staff. Now there's no excuses, so he has to do it. If he's got it in him, he's going to do it now. So I wanted to take that risk, so I was able to pick him up, and then I was able to go with try to get the most elite level wide receivers I could. I got 7 wide receivers. And then I got 2 S-tier tight ends. We know that that Andrews can be great. Last year was just rough for him, but it was rough for all tight ends. And then we got Mason Taylor, who I think is going to be an absolute breakout and a steal in round 13 to pick him up. So I'm very confident in those. So that's kind of how I lay it down there. Just kind of some other ones, some sleeper successes. I think Bansom netting Devon Achane in the 3rd round was a league-wide coup. I can't believe that he was able to fall all the way that. We're going to come back to him in a minute too. There's some more updates that we've had since that. So we'll talk about a little bit about that. You might see that on the screen right there. Actually, there's a trade coming up, so we're going to talk trades here in a minute. And then a couple other ones. So Howard, I call him Howard the Ducks. He got Jefferson, St. Brown, and Purdy. So he's built like a PPR monster, man. I mean, to get Justin Jefferson and St. Brown, that's crazy that he was able to end up with them. And I think Brock is looking great so far. What we've seen in camp, what we're getting, what news we're getting back about him. He's looking really good and healthy. He's got a good, healthy team around him. So that could be a really good sleeper hit right there. Kind of some early regrets. So team name TBD and Sodak, they kind of overdrafted quarterbacks and they missed out on some top tier running backs. So that was kind of a, looking back on it, some regrets that I think that they made. Chinstrap Penguins, solid positional balance, but lacked a true alpha wide receiver running back. That was just kind of my thoughts, on some of the teams. So I thought everybody did great overall for a 12 team. Really looking at it, establishing it, and knowing the level of experience that everybody has, I thought that it was really good. I was really surprised I was able to pull my strategy off. I was really able to get the team that I really wanted, less one running back. I knew I had to sacrifice somewhere, and if I was going to sacrifice anywhere, I made the decision that was going to be in running back. So just understand that within the first, and I'm going to talk more about this in a minute, but in that first 5 rounds, you have to lock in 2 top tier quarterbacks before round 5. You have to be able to do that. So I got a couple more strategies here for you as well.
Skunkadelic All-Stars, we're setting the stage. Dynasty draft night, we're turning the page. First round pick 2 in the room went wild. QB1 on the clock, Buffalo's golden child. You've lit up Orchard Park, now you light our league. We're building an empire, no limits, no fatigue. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 in our plan, yeah. In the no guts, no glory draft, you're our rising star. Skunkadelic All-Stars, gonna take you far. PPR power, big play king. You'll scramble, connect to watch the scoreboard ring. Milestone bonuses, every yard we cheer. With Josh under center, victory's near. Deep benches stocked, Dynasty on lock. With you at the helm, we're ready to rock. Far from the first pick buzz to our league-wide dream. You're the heartbeat of our squad, let's reign supreme. Live streams, loud cheers, every play you own. Skunkadelic's Dynasty throne. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. Number 2 overall, first QB in our plan, yeah. In the no guts, no glory draft, you're our rising star. Skunkadelic All-Stars, gonna take you far. Skunkadelic All-Stars, watch us shine. With Josh Allen leading, the crown is mine.
All right, we're back. So I had to play that for Josh Allen. You know that I could not believe that he fell to me in the first round. I did not think. I thought 99% sure I was going Jaden Daniels. No doubt about it. I didn't think I was going to get him. But when Cruz took Jamar Chase and left me Allen, I got to take him. So thank you for checking out that song. I appreciate that. Welcome to the team, Mr. Allen. But yes, going back to the takeaways, this is what you have to do if you're going to do a Dynasty Superflex draft. You have to lock in those 2 top-tier quarterbacks before round 5. You have to. That's the gold standard. If you don't do that, I think you're really putting you and your team at risk, not just for this season, but potentially long-term. Tight end premium value. So, Andrews, Kelsey, Laporta, Kincaid, they can all deliver immediate dividends. So really trying to scoop, one of those up. Again, as you saw through the process of our draft, and you can check out our draft board as well. It's linked in our Discord, or if you need to, if you jump in our Discord and you want to check it out, hit me up on there, or you can hit up any of the team. There should be able to be a link, or they can find you a link, so you can check out that draft board. But yeah, I mean, you can see really where that all falls. I mean, you don't have to necessarily get them early unless you want to try to get some trade bait or some future opportunities to move stuff around. But you can wait a little bit, but you got to lock in. I think the key is you got to lock in those 2 top tier quarterbacks. Got to grab that tight end there. Make sure you get one of the premium ones. So again, it might be different in your league's draft. You might have people that go tight end very early. They might go Brock Bowers, and then somebody says, "Oh, Brock went," so then they want to go Laporta, and then what I mean. So you just got to kind of judge where everything's going to fall at. Where's it going to go? If you don't have to go early, wait if you can. Wait as long as you can, but don't wait too long to where you would miss out. One of the 5 or 6 key players. And don't forget, Jonnu Smith, throw him in there as a wild card one. He did really good last year. He could be great as well, especially if Tua's healthy. I think he'll get some work. And then as well, make sure you really put a circle around Taylor on your draft. I can't believe he went all the way to the 13th round. I was able to swipe him. I mean, I would have went way earlier, but I took the risk. And he was there. So definitely try to get him if you can. I think even having Justin Fields there is actually more of a benefit really for him. He's going to get some of the kind of the safety net potentially for Justin Fields. So we'll see how that plays out. But even if it doesn't work out with Justin Fields, we know get him on your team dynasty wise because he's going to have a long career. If we're just basing it on the stock and what his dad was able to do, and usually typically as we see with those kids, right, a la Peyton Manning, Eli Manning, they're able to replicate that success because they grew up in it their whole life. As long as they have the athleticism and the skill set and the mindset, which I believe that the players we're talking about do, then you'll be fine. And then upside versus floor. So teams who balance proven studs with high ceiling use. So like myself, Cruz, Eddie Ha, we're going to sit on top of the board. It's just the way that it is. You got to be able to find that balance. There were some teams on there that went heavy. If you're in a redraft league, they would look like super studs, and they're gonna do well. But I mean, they're the age wise, and we can look at that as well. I do have the ability to pull up the average age. We're gonna look at some stats and data here in just a minute, but just some of the waiver priorities and things like that. Now this is where the game begins, right? Now we got to look at trades, we got to look at waivers, we got to kind of follow, hey, who's emerging, who's kind of falling off. How are these players really going to land? We're just going off data, what we have right now. This will obviously change as we get closer to kickoff. And then once we kick off, it'll change there too, right? Because people play, people get hurt, people do poorly, coaches will change. But I think overall, it's very dominant. You got to follow that strategy if you're going in. So just a reminder, lock in those 2 top-tier quarterbacks before round 5. And again, they don't have to be Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow. They don't have to be that. If you can get that, that was great. As we saw, one person in our league was able to lock that in. That's great if you can do that. That's elite. But you don't have to do that. You can get, maybe one super high tier guy, and then maybe like a A tier or maybe like a B plus tier, right? I would consider Lawrence probably, to me, I think he's A tier. Potential to be A tier, potential to be S tier if things go right with Cone, and the right things happen, with those wide receivers and what they have around them. But as far as like where he's being drafted, I think he's being drafted maybe like a, more of a B minus, maybe even a C plus tier. So you can pick him up, pretty well. And I think he's going to do a lot for you down the line. Also, Dak is huge right now. Dak, you should be getting Dak wherever you can get Dak. I mean, Dak's my backup quarterback. Are you kidding me? Dak's, I think, is healthy this year. He's got Pickens around him. He's got, CeeDee Lamb. We'll see what they can do with the running game. They do got that rookie, but I don't know what's going to happen there. I think, give or take, it doesn't really have much to do with Dak. He can pass to a running back, or he can pass to 2 really good wide receivers. We'll see what happens. And then you also got a pretty decent tight end, I think, if he can live up to his potential. So Dak's a great pick there too. Definitely keep an eye out for Dak if he's available within your league. Eddie Haas said Xavier Worthy was a steal. Yeah, I think so too. I think Xavier was a great steal. Would I like to have had Rashee Rice? Yes, but I'm not going to overpay. I think I got a great value on Xavier Worthy. I'm not mad about that. Let's jump into let's see here. I'm going to pull up the Fantasy Pros. Okay, let's do Fantasy Pros. We'll start with them. Okay, so Fantasy Pros, this is free. I just logged into them today. I just wanted to kind of get some opinions of different platforms, not just myself and not just the research that I did. I wanted to get other people's opinion as well. So their rankings, based on I was able to sync our league to it with our settings and everything, and then they were able to look at that. So based on Fantasy Pros, this is what they're saying. Number one team, me. Thank you, Fantasy Pros. Shout out to Fantasy Pros. Thank you for saying that. H-Town K-Dogs, 96 score. Chinstrap Penguins with 91, Big Pick Energy, Pits of Despair, so on and so forth. Now, they're ranking South Beach Explorers, which is Cruise, are ranking South Beach Explorers at 85, which again, okay, they're taking into as long as they're taking into our scoring settings, okay, fair, I guess. Mid-tier, I don't agree with that, but and then we have to find Eddie Ha, which I think Eddie Ha is team name to be announced. They're putting him down at 81. So I don't know. I mean, I agree with the fact that they picked me number one. I like that. That was good. I like that. But some of the rest, I don't know. I don't know what their deep analysis is. Again, I just pulled this up today, but you can kind of see here positional rankings, super flex. So this is kind of how they're ranking everybody. So that's my team, H-Town K-Dogs. You can see how they're ranking, them. So any one of our teams, if any of our teams are watching this, you can go out here yourself and kind of look at this and get a feel. It's free. They allow you to sync one league, I guess. If you want to get some additional information, you got to pay. But I was able to do this for free. So you guys can check it out and kind of see, where people are falling at. Let's see what they're saying about South Beach Explorers. So that would be Cruz. Okay, so they think his starters overall is 9th and his quarterback is 11th. Okay, yeah. I mean, I told you I didn't have a lot going for Love and CJ Stroud. I wasn't a big fan of them, so I guess I could see that. Yes. Juwan Jennings is starting. Okay. Travis Kelce. Okay. Yeah, I kind of get it. Jake Ferguson. All right. Yeah, I can kind of see some of that. Tony Pollard. We don't know what's going to be Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard could be really good this year. We'll have to wait and see. But as far as their numbers, they're saying it's a little bit low. And I'm just curious to see what they say about Eddie Ha then. So Eddie Ha, they're saying tight end weak and running back is weak. Who's he got? Yeah, I mean, he's got Hunter on there. We don't know what Hunter's going to do. He does obviously anchored with his two quarterbacks. So, yeah, I can see it. I mean, I can see him thinking that way. Let's pop over to Draft Sharks. I like Draft Sharks. I've been using Draft Sharks for a couple of years now. Let's see what they have to say as far as their rankings. Again, they are listing me as number one. So, thank you, Draft Sharks. I appreciate that. Thank you. And they got team name to be announced. That's Eddie Ha. They got Eddie Ha coming in second, H-Town K-Dog. So in two different formats, H-Town K-Dog was 2 and then 3, so that's good. And then here they got South Beach Explorers. This is, I think, is a more accurate ranking of where South Beach Explorers and Eddie Ha should probably be. That's probably about right. H-Town K-Dogs is Kramer's team. He's been doing fantasy for a long time, but Dynasty for a long time as well. I think he's in several leagues. Eddie Ha's in several leagues, so it makes sense that those guys are up towards the top. And I think that's probably more accurate. I know for a fact that Draft Sharks syncs our league settings and all that. I'm pretty sure that Fantasy Pro does. I'm pretty sure there's not anything you need to do with it, but I haven't really played with that. Like literally today, I just synced our league. That was it. I haven't went in and verified any of the settings or made sure that nothing was unclicked. But I know for a fact Draft Sharks is because I've been using Draft Sharks for a couple years now. So we kind of go down and see what they're saying. Kind of see some of the rankings. Overall points wise. So if they're ranking Eddie Ha as number 2, the disparity between me and him, I think is pretty good. So I like that. So that to me, that's good. I mean, how could I not like that, right? So that was pure domination as far as I consider it. Okay, my own evaluation. Okay, taking the settings, the scoring settings, taking the draft results, just throwing in a Chat GPT. It gave me a good feedback that I was one of the tops as well. I was the top as well, the number one to beat by building it with again, it goes to that quarterback, wide receiver. Yes, there's tight end premium. Okay. Yes, there's running backs on the team. There's 3 wide receivers. Okay. And then there's 2 flex spots. Wide receivers are going to get, so it's 0.5 PPR is the setting, right? Wide receivers get 0.5 bonus. Yes, tight end gets a whole point, but how many tight ends are catching, all these balls? Now, there's only going to be only a few at the top that do that, right? You're going to get those core 5, maybe 6 that we talked about. You're going to get your Brock Bowers, you're going to get your Laporta, you're going to get maybe, you can throw Jonnu in there. So that's how you got to build it around a good group, a core elite of 2 quarterbacks, and then really, really, really stick to your guns on getting those wide receivers. That's my philosophy. That's the way that I felt that the league was set up. That's the way that I felt, Dynasty, Superflex, Tight End Premium needs to be. So there's no special thing here that we instituted that makes it that way. If you're in a Superflex, Tight End Premium, got to lock those 2 quarterbacks in within the first 5 rounds, and you got to lock in a premium tight end. Doesn't have to be Brock Bowers. You don't have to get him, okay? But lock in a premium. There's a lot of value within those first 5 or 6 top tier tight ends. So make sure that you lock that in. So here's kind of how that breaks down. You can kind of see here another ranking. So we're going to All Stars, where we're at. I think we're elite on quarterback. I feel that even on the backup, if you add in that, I know they ranked Eddie Ha there. Obviously, he has Burrow and he has Pat Mahomes. Very good. Pat Mahomes does like he did last year. That's not true. So we'll see. But I think here and then having Dak as the backup, that's pure domination right here. I know H-Town K-Dogs did well as well. My weakest link here is going to be running back. I know that for a fact. But again, you look here at wide receiver. Yes. C. Green came in. He got 152 ranking on wide receiver. But if you're looking at overall across the board and you add them all up, that's pretty solid there. That's pretty solid as far as what I was able to build on that. And again, it comes to sticking to your guns. Stick to your guns. Don't get so caught up in that, oh, this is Dynasty, I got to draft young people. Oh, this is Dynasty, I got to draft, whatever. However you want to do. Don't go into it with a preconceived notion. Just pick the best on your board, just like a real solid championship-winning NFL team is going to do. They're going to pick the best on their board. Pick the best value for your team. If you haven't got a running back yet, that's okay. Look at your running backs. Who are they? You got 5, 6 running backs on the board. You got a ranking on them. Hey, you know what? That's okay. Let it ride. Grab that excellent wide receiver. I did that in DJ Moore, and then let it ride. And then guess what? It came all the way back, and I got my number 1 running back pick. I guarantee you, if I would not have took DJ Moore there, I would not have had DJ Moore when it came back around to me again. I could have got Pacheco, right, and sacrificed DJ Moore. I didn't. I kept DJ Moore. I stuck to my guns. I got him. Boom, boom, boom. All my other top 5 or 6 running backs went off the board except my number 1. My number 1 was there, Pacheco. I was able to lock him in, got him all good, happy as can be. It worked out absolutely perfect. Again, you have to be able to stick to your guns and let it ride. It'll come back around to you. And if it doesn't, always have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D. Be ready to go and adjust accordingly. Don't get so freaked out in these drafts. Whether it's a slow pick or it's a fast pick, I was able to pick relatively quickly because I already was gauging down the board where I was going to go, who I was going to go. If this happened, I went here. If that happened, I was going to go there. So it really worked out as a good strategy. I was not flustered throughout the whole entire draft. I felt really confident. I felt good throughout the whole process. And it was really fun. I had an absolute blast doing it. And then just to take a peek here, let's go over to our trade hub, right? We need to look at some of these trades that are going on. Let me pull that screen up because that's pretty interesting here. Let's pull up our trades. Here we go. So we have 2 trades outstanding. Trade alert, trade alert, trade alert. 2 trades outstanding already. Pretty crazy. Right out of the gate, we have Devon Achane. Okay, this was actually the second trade. Let's go down then. Let's go down to this one. So the first trade that kicked everything off was 100 fab for 100 fab. Okay, that was fun. Okay, that was funny. That was good. So that was a good troll. I love that one. I processed that trade, by the way. So that was technically the first trade, even though that was kind of a troll. That was funny. So the actual first trade of players is here. That was a surprise trade of Brock Bowers, and then for Jahmyr Gibbs. So we got Brock Bowers, and we got who's the other guy? I can't remember. Oh, Rashard Smith, running back for KC. Okay, hey, they talked a little bit about him. He might be something. So this is Dynasty. It makes sense. And then a 2026 first-round pick. So Brock Bowers, who was picked in the first round, at the very tail end of the first round by Joe Mama, who came back around and got Trey McBride, I believe, right underneath him. think it was Trey McBride he got. So he got 2 locked in, boom, boom, back-to-back tight ends. And then, so he's trading Brock Bowers, his first-round pick, and Brashard Smith, a rookie from Kansas City. So could be good there. They are hyping him up a little bit. So there's some potential there. Casey's done well with people or running backs like that. So we'll see. And then he's going to give up a 2026 first-round pick, and he's going to pick up Jahmyr Gibbs, who is the number 3 overall pick player in the draft, the number one running back. So it was already a big surprise when Jahmyr Gibbs got drafted number 3rd overall. That right there was like, what? And then here we go. The very first trade, Jahmyr Gibbs is going first. Jahmyr Gibbs is going on a trade. The very first trade done within our startup dynasty draft is going, and he's going for Brock Bowers, Brashad Smith, and a 2026 first round draft pick. Wow, crazy. Okay, interesting offer. And they were able to make that deal happen. So I gotta say the winner here immediately, obviously, is going to be who gets Jahmyr Gibbs, right? Joe Mama's going to be, I think, the immediate winner of this. He's already pretty stacked on tight end, so he already knew that he was going to use probably Brock Bowers as a trade bait. That was smart. He picked him up. I said, don't pick up a tight end in the first round. I said, don't do that. He did because he wanted to parlay that into getting that elite, the number 1 running back off the board in Jahmyr Gibbs. So very smart. Great job to Joe Mama. Definitely a great pick, and he was able to make all that happen. So that was really great. And then he's going to give up a potential superstar in Brashad Smith. We don't know. We have no idea. He's a rookie. We don't know what he's going to do. But he's given here, right here's the value, right? He's given up that 2026 first round draft pick. So overall, yeah, I mean, good, right? I think a pretty good overall trade. They structured a good trade. I think it brings value potentially to both teams, short term and long term. I'd have to look and see what mixed tight end is. Let's take a quick peek. I'm going to pull up another screen here and just see who's mixed other tight end is. Let's see. And bear with me, guys. I'm still getting used to Sleeper. As you guys know, I've been a hardcore 20-year vet to Yahoo, so this is all still new to me and getting through there. So I'm pulling up Mick. Okay, so Mick is currently running. So he got Hawkinson is right now starting on his team. He's got Jonnu Smith, and he has Zach Ertz and Cole Kmet and Juwan Johnson. So. And he's got Okonkwo. So he's really stacking those tight ends. My personal opinion, okay, I don't think it was worth giving up Gibbs for Brock Bowers. Unless you're absolutely in love with this guy from KC who we don't know anything about. I don't think that's a good trade. Honestly, I don't think that Mick made a good trade here. That's just my opinion. I wouldn't have done it. If I'm getting Gibbs, then yeah, I would absolutely do that deal. But hey, whatever. That's their choice. That's what they want to do. I'm sure he has a plan. And we'll probably have him on the show, hopefully, within the near future. So I'd like to get these guys on the show and talk about their reasoning, their thought process behind where they drafted, why some of these trades are happening, what their outlook is, what maybe they're doing in some of their other leagues and things like that. So we're gonna go ahead and process this trade. I mean, that's what they want to do. Let's do it. I don't see anything too crazy there. And then let's go and take a look at our next trade. Okay, so we're talking about Achane again. We just kind of talked about him a little bit. So Cruz is going to be trading away James Cook and Matthew Golden, wide receiver, Green Bay, again rookie. And then James Cook is going to be trading him away for Devon Achane. I would personally, I would value Achane better. I would have liked to have targeted Achane. I would have loved to have him as to kind of round out my team by getting Achane. So who knows? Maybe something can happen in the future. James Cook could make sense because I have Josh Allen, but really running back and quarterback doesn't really make too big of a difference. But James Cook can be a little bit of a PPR. There could be some PPR there. Again, it's only 0.5 to the running back. So I don't know. I have to evaluate that once the trade processes. But I would have liked to have targeted Achane. I would like to have had him on my team. So probably really for my team, I'm just targeting a running back. That's it. Like I literally put together everything, all the data into ChatGPT after it gave me that ranking. So I wanted to get Draft Sharks. We got Fantasy Pros. I wanted to get ChatGPT, giving it all the data and see what it said. I asked ChatGPT after it was all done. It said I was number one, by the way. I said, do I even need to trade? And ChatGPT said, you don't have to trade if you don't want. You can just write it out for right now, unless something crazy happens. I can just write it out and see what happens. So I'm not in any rush to trade. If something comes along and I'm able to swipe a running back or able to put a deal together that makes sense to get a running back, I would do that. I don't even have to have like necessarily a superstar running back. I don't even necessarily need an Achane or a Jahmyr Gibbs. But if I could just pick up someone with a little bit more value, that would be great for my team. So other than that, though, I'm set. I mean, like, I got a great quarterback to fill in Dak if something were to happen, to my one of my other quarterbacks, or I got a buy or whatever, he's able to slide right in. I think Cousins, who I got as well, my fourth quarterback, I think he'll probably end up getting traded, I would think. I don't know if Atlanta will hold on to him. I'm sure somebody's going to come calling as we get closer to the preseason. Somebody's going to need it. Somebody's going to go down. Somebody's going to get hurt, whatever. Somebody's going to need that insurance. So they're going to come calling, or you never know. Something happens to Penix, right? Either, God forbid, he gets hurt, which I hope he doesn't, or something happens and maybe, the last two games were a fluke and he regresses and they stick Cousins back in there. You never know. So I think he's a good security blanket at number 4. I think picking up some random, rookie, quarterback that, is going to sit behind somebody for maybe 2-3 years and who knows if they ever pan out. I think it's better to have Cousins because, there's a high chance I think he's going to play for somebody, this year. He'll start somewhere this year. Somebody's going to come calling. Somebody's going to pay the piper, and they're gonna potentially get him starting somewhere. So we're going to go ahead and process this trade. Congratulations to everybody that made a trade. Great trades there. I got to say, great trades. And I'm sure, I'm looking at it more from a redraft perspective, right? For some of these, it's going to take me a little bit of time to acclimate to Dynasty. But seeing Achane, seeing Jahmyr Gibbs go, I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I would have rather had those two players. Brock Bowers doesn't excite me. I don't think it makes sense to Mick. Mick already has really good tight ends, or at least a pretty good core. I mean, if just one of those guys hit, he's going to be fine. But hey, maybe he's a really, really big Brock Bowers fan. He thinks Brock Bowers is what he's going to build his core around for the next several years. Who knows? But hey, hats off to them. It was unbelievable drafting with these guys. It was super fun. The banter going back and forth, the stuff that goes on in the chat. It was kind of interesting too, because Cruz, I think if you heard me mention in previous live streams, he went on a European vacation at the start of the draft. Like, he had already made this vacation like over a year ago. And it just happened to be right when we started drafting. So he was always 6 hours ahead of us. So, he would have to stay up super late. So it was kind of funny. He was trying to like coordinate his schedule on there. Obviously he's with his family, on cruises. Cruz is on a cruise. And traveling on airplanes and by car, or who knows, whatever, bus, who knows, all different types of forms of travel, on way different time zones than us. So it was very interesting, very fun. I had an absolute blast doing it. If you're interested, we do have some redraft leagues that are still open over on lordskunk.com. If you head over to lordskunk.com, let's pull it up real quick here. Lord Skunk. We'll share that up. I'm sorry, guys. I'm still not feeling well. I got this really bad sinus thing. I wasn't even going to stream today, but I couldn't leave you hanging. We completed the draft, 7 days, 24 rounds. I had to jump in here and check in with you. And just real quick, let's talk about that.
Yo, it's your boy Draft Monster on the mic, repping my home dog, Lord Skunk. We taking over fantasy football, $5 at a time. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper. Every pick makes you holler. Super flex, no kicker or DST. Deep bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride. NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. Step in my draft room, snake style, drop that beat. 12 teams, one mission, build that elite fleet. I lock QBs, RB cows, breaking every chain. 3 wideouts, tight end locked in, flex game insane. Deep bench, plug and play, waiver wars every Wednesday. Big play bonuses, lighten up your Sunday. Half point PPR, 6-point TD buffet. I craft champions while y'all just play. My back, $5 in the pot. Champions, cash floods, runner up, take your shot. Points, champ, pockets, weekly high score on lock. Yahoo Tuesday, stream, sleeper Thursday, non-stop. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper. Every pick makes you holler. Super flex, no kicker or DST. Big bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride. NFL glory. My pick calls like the screen, running fantasy plays like you never seen. Discord chat buzzing, trade block popping loud. My community's tight, this league's proud and loud. Cash raining fast, payout slick and clean. 30 for the champion, 10 for the dream team, 6 for points boss. Weekly high score green, every matchup's fire. Live that fantasy dream. From the to the modem, we connect worldwide. NFL passion, fantasy action, ride or die. Red drafts, rookie or dynasty vet, come on inside. LordSkunk.com, where legends thrive. I'm the $5 baller, stacking rosters like a scholar. Yahoo the sleeper, every pick makes you holler. Super flex, no kicker or DST. Deep bench like Dynasty. $5 to ride. NFL glory, this is Lord Skunk's Odyssey. That's the anthem, now it's your move. Join the $5 leagues at LordSkunk.com and build your dynasty.
And we're back. Yeah, the $5 league, LordSkunk.com. Check it out. Head over to LordSkunk.com. All you got to do is scroll down. You can see why you should join. You can see the available leagues to join. You can view all the league settings here. High flying, high offense, no kicker, no DST. We don't need none of that. Just massive, massive, massive points. We're looking for big scores here. You can check it all out. Super fun format here. This isn't your grandpa's fantasy football. This is the new age, the modern fantasy football league. And you can jump right up here to join a league. So we got several that filled up already. We got a couple that are drafting. Thursday, we got Sleeper that's going to draft. We're going to stream that one. So that'll be on June 26th. That'll be coming up this week. So make sure you jump in. We got a couple spots there. I think we got one spot left we got. Then we got another Sleeper League available the following week. So this should be pretty fun because this will be kicking off kind of the 4th of July festivities. So the Thursday right before the big holiday break, get your draft in there, kick your holiday off right. Do it for America, man. Do it for America. Have a fun time there doing that. You can lock in there. And then, of course, we got finally the last one, which should be going on July 10th. There's some spots left in that. So fill up the earlier, the sooner the better. Let's fill those up first. The point of the $5 league is that, hey, you're going to join in one. You're going to have a great time. You're going to have a lot of fun. And then, hey, join in another one. It's not that big a deal. It's not a huge investment. Low barrier of entry. The payouts are really good. Structured. You can get a good return on up to 10x return on your investment. Pretty fun. Have a good time. And we're going to stream the draft. So we're going to have commentary and talk about it. We have a Discord set up as well. We'll be able to jump in the Discord and chat with everybody and just have a great time. So make sure you check it out. We do have the 2 Discords up. We got the LordSkunk.com Discord up, and we got the No Guts, No Glory Discord. We have two communities right now. We'll probably be merging those into one. I've been talking about that. I just haven't sat down to figure out how necessarily I want to do that yet. So stay tuned for that. But definitely jump into one of the leagues. Again, all you gotta do is click here. It takes you right into League Safe. Once you lock in your $5, you can pay through PayPal. You can do it through a e-check. You can do it through credit card. Once you lock that in, that money securely goes to League Safe. They'll hang on to it throughout the season. They're kind of like an escrow. They'll hang on to it, and then you'll get a link from them. You'll get a link. It'll say a message from the commissioner, and then it'll have the join league in there. You can join right into Sleeper or Yahoo. In this case, I think the only ones that are open are Sleeper. You can join right into the league. You'll join us and we'll draft. We're gonna have a great time. You can watch it live on the stream, and you can participate in it, on your phone or tablet or computer, whatever, however you want to draft. So it'll be really fun. Appreciate everybody that has joined. I'm looking forward to it. It's already been some fun little chat going off in the various leagues that we're in, for these redrafts. And then of course we're having an absolute blast in the Dynasty. So thank you everybody who's been following the channel. If you can, do me a huge favor. I know to you, it's like, oh, I don't want to do all this. Everybody says all this, but it really does mean a lot. If you can like, share, subscribe, if you can follow us on socials, you can go to LordSkunk.com. It takes you like a minute to type in LordSkunk.com, and then just click these buttons here for whatever you have. Just follow us, just like it, just like a couple videos, like make a couple comments, do something. We really appreciate it. The channel is again restarting. I did just hit 2 million views, so that's really cool. I got 2 million views on YouTube, so that was cool. But it's been a long time in the making of this this channel, and it's been a hiatus for several years. The channel before was focused on Star Wars mobile games, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, and now we're focused on fantasy football. So we got to kind of rebrand and redo the algorithm, and everything that you do literally helps. So a comment, a like, a share, a subscribe, whatever it could be, as long as there's engagement, the algorithms pick that up, and I really appreciate that. I enjoy doing the streams. I enjoy providing you this commentary, connecting with you, talking with you, and I look forward to connecting with you more to the Discords and the community. But also, I don't try to do overly produced content. Everything I like to do is live. It's real. It's my real reaction. If I mess up, I mess up. I don't edit it out. I don't change it. If I catch it on the stream, I'll correct it and apologize for it. But if not, it is what it is. So I really appreciate all the support that I've gotten so far. I really appreciate all the views. TikTok, is new. I've never done TikTok before, so I just created that recently. We're starting to get some really good, traction on there. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all that stuff. Really appreciate it. So thanks everybody for checking it out. If you see the replays come up or anything like that, feel free to like them, share them, shoot them over into different social media groups that you're in within your network. Or if you see somebody, excuse me, on social media that's looking for a league, send them over to lordskunk.com. It's pretty easy. Lordskunk.com, we'll take them right in. They can join a draft or join a league right there and draft list and have a great time. And they can watch the draft live on the stream if they want. So appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. I got to bow out. I didn't think I was going to make it to the thing. I'm barely making it to the end here, but you know that I'm dedicated to it. And I didn't want to leave you hanging after we got through 7 days of draft, 24 rounds, and it was an amazing experience. So appreciate everybody. Look forward to your feedback. Leave some comments. What do you think? Do you really think that Skunk and Elk All-Stars, Lord Skunk, #1 in that with the strategy? Do you think it panned out that way? Who are some of the ones that you thought were really well? What are some of the picks that you liked? Leave a comment. Let me know what you think, man. Appreciate it. Talk to you guys soon.